Who'd you know?
Well, he came to Memphis to sing with a group called the Blackwood Brothers. It was the first time that I'd ever seen him.
How did you run into him this time? Just in Vegas?
I just realized that they were available. And he'd formed a new quartet called the Stamps. And I listened to some of the records, and they had all this power back then. I liked it.
He made the Stamps. He brought them together.
He put them together.
One of his nephew and one's his son-in-law. The other two, I don't know where they came from.
But each one of the guys individually are good, as you can
Oh, yeah,
see.
I noticed.
They all have good
See, we
voices.
come from a different background. We come from the Middle West or from the West Coast.
You don't hear this too much.
So we don't hear
Hardly
this.
at
So
all.
we see a bunch of guys that has a whole different kind of level of meaning to us because it's just not part of our background.
Right.
It's like everybody comes from the same background, or is that's as much to you guys as it is to a kid in California growing up and surfing or Little League
You know,
baseball.
it's kind of like roots.
We grew up with it, you know, from the time I can remember, like 2 years old. I grew up with this because my folks took me there. And then, when I got old enough, I started to sing in church. And I
And
started.
that's how you got into singing?
Well, it's one of the ways.
One of the ways.
You know, yeah. But I liked all type of music. You know, when I was in high school, I had records by Mario Lanza and the Metropolitan Opera. I loved music. The Spanish, I like the Mexican flavored songs.
But this is so
Music
different.
period.
This is so
But this thing here, the gospel thing is just, excuse me, the gospel is really what we grew up with, you know, more than anything else.
It shows in the music too, because there's a kind of if you've seen Baptist choirs, there's a kind of intensity about it, and it's the same kind of intensity, electricity that you have on stage. And there
It
seems
comes
to be
out
that
in almost
electricity.
every song.
It's a kind of a
Yeah,
soul.
like
It
a
comes from way
fantastic
deep
strength
inside.
that's inside, yeah.
It just isn't singing notes. It's singing something that seems to come from very deep inside of you.
And at certain times you push out, you know, pull in. Just a part of you, you don't really think about it.
When I was in France about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was doing a film on Jean-Claude Keely, and I asked him just offhand who was his favorite singer, and he said, Elvis Presley. He's my man.
Oh, really?
He's my man. He said,
Well, he's my favorite skier.
but I asked him why.
That's nice. Thank
And
you.
he said, but he did this whole thing. He says he has soul. You know, it's hard for an American to talk to a Frenchman and understand that he understands soul better than you do. But he really does. He says he sings, you know, from in here. And that was his way of describing. He had a very limited English at the time.
It's fantastic.
Joe, you gonna pick up the music?
No, but this,
Can I wrap it up?
yeah. Oh, this is very,
All right, boys, put it away.
this is very basic. When we get through with our work, what we have to do, we usually wind up doing this.
And you're doing it because you want to do it.
We do it because we want to do it, you know.
In Las Vegas, after he's done 2 shows, everybody's tired. They're up in the suite singing all night till like 6, 7 in the morning.
We'll do 2 shows a lot of times, and we'll go upstairs and sing until daylight. You know, gospel songs.
How do you do it? How do you?
Not too often. When you're working every night there.
I mean, what does it do for you? I mean, to get into this, is it like
I think it more or less puts your mind at ease. It does mine. You know, because you've been really concentrating and everybody's been working out. So these things we know.
it's like old friends?
Right. And it puts your mind at ease.
It takes you down and just
It
levels
takes you
things
down
off.
to a level. Otherwise, you'd go out of here and you couldn't sleep for. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you ended on a real up-tempo